All right, in today's video, we are going over the two most underrated muscle groups in looking jacked. Think about it. Now, when someone has their shirt off, people right away they're going to notice the chest, they're going to notice the arms, shoulders, the abs. But how often does the average person really have their shirt off? Think about it. In the summer, maybe when they're on the beach. Otherwise, you're wearing either a tank top or a t-shirt. And the two most muscles that you should be training to look jacked in a t-shirt are your forearms and your traps. And that's what this video is going over. Sylvester Stallone did an interview once when he was making Rambo 4 and he was already into his 50s. He said all he did was forearm work and trap work. And if you notice in that movie, he never once took his t-shirt off and he looked shredded. So big traps and big forearms are always going to make you look bigger. Think about it. Your forearms are what people see the most. You're wearing a t-shirt, people see your forearms. You're wearing a long sleeve shirt, you roll up the sleeves, people see your forearms. Forearm training is so underrated. And your traps, whether you're wearing a t-shirt, whether you're wearing a tank top, whether you're wearing even a hoodie, your traps are what's just going to give you that. It's going to make that image of just a big, broad upper body because your traps are connected to your back, which go up to your neck. Very important. Now, training traps, you either want to focus on shrugs, you want to focus on close grip upright rows. Another key thing about shrugs is, think about it. Your traps are a back muscle. They are behind you. So you want to do behind the back shrugs. You can see on this machine right here, I'm standing way forward. So I'm actually like in front of where I'm holding the bar. Very important. Very rarely do I see people doing shrugs behind the back. Lee Haney used to swear by it. Now, forearms, there are so many different forearm exercises you can do. The main movement of a forearm is a wrist curl or a reverse wrist curl. Now, you can do reverse bicep curls. You could do hammer bicep curls, but you are going to be hitting the bicep more than you are going to be hitting the forearm. When you do a wrist curl, you are strictly hitting the forearm and you cannot cheat. This right here is one of my favorite exercises. Most gyms have this machine. If your gym doesn't, easily just drag a bench over to a cable station, rest your arm on the bench. You cannot cheat. Another thing with forearms is you want to do higher reps. Think about it. Everything you do in life, you are using your forearms. Something as simple as eating, you're holding silverware, you are using your forearms. Writing with a pen or a pencil, you're using your forearms. So it takes a lot of reps to really engage the forearm muscles. It's not like per se chest where you could do sets of 10, 11, or 12. For forearms, you want to be doing sets of 15, 20, even 25, depending on the exercise. You always want to do high reps. I'm showing you a few movements here, but like I said, there is countless movements you could do for forearms. There's a million different kind of wrist curls, reverse wrist curls, dumbbells, cables, barbells, behind the back. As you can see right here, I was doing behind the back wrist curls with a cable. You could do them in front. You could do them from a high pulley. But do not neglect your forearm. It is the most forgotten muscle. I train people at a lot of gyms. I rarely see people training their forearms, and I preach this in a lot of my videos. It is the most important muscle. You should not be using wrist straps for any exercise if your grip is not strong enough to hold the bar. Now, I'm not talking about power lifters who are deadlifting 1,000 pounds. That's different. But if you're just doing a regular exercise, your grip should be strong enough to hold that weight. These exercises are what's going to do that. So, upper body, you want to focus on traps. Do not neglect your traps. Arms, do not neglect forearms. And forearms are one of those muscles, much like calves. You could train them multiple times per week. I like to throw forearms in my workouts at least 3 or 4 times per week. So, if I could say one thing in this video, do not neglect your forearms. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think.